I did! You think this is funny? On stolen land, you sit here feasting while spirits cry outside. No, nobody's moving, okay?
Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy, Chef D-Nail. Over here, Guess Who's Cooking. Good cooking, good eating, good living. Y'all know how we do it every Sunday about this time, man. We're going to get straight to it. We got the chicken and dumplings, all right? We got the perch fish with the mac and cheese, with the yams, with the 5 cheese toast over here on the Texas side. And, of course, we got the world-famous turkey tips, all right? We also got, on this one, we got the greens with the turkey tails, and we got the spaghetti. You already know what time it is, man. Hit the link, 773-992-4737 is the phone number to place your order every Sunday, all right? And you can hit us up on the Cash App to make payments at Guess Who's Cooking, the number 2, all right? You can hit the www.guesswho'scooking on the World Wide Web. You can catch us on Facebook Marketplace under Guess Who's Cooking, and of course on TikTok, man, at Guess Who's Cooking. Come on down, get your orders.
Give me shame, I give you peace from underneath. Give me mind and be a light to reignite. Can you open up the doors to let me in? Can you open up the doors to let me in? You could put the head inside, don't tap my head. As I sing the love inside from out my mouth. Tell me what you need to find. Tell me now. Tell me what you need to find.
Yeah. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Come on! Y'all the killers. Get him!
Yeah.
All
Yo.
praise to the Most High God,
That's the realest, the illest, killers by feelings. Sunlight burns your flesh, your skin's peeling. Edomites, bloods, and brains hit the ceilings because of the scriptures of Yah that I'm wielding. Scriptures about your death, send your reeling back to the caves and cliffs for your healings. Other nations hate your guts, they be swilling. The man of perdition and sin, Yah revealing. White women, flat ass bodies, underpeeling. Scriptures of Most High God, I'm concealing. The Amalek identity fraud is caught stealing. Lord God, touch my soul, I need healing. I pray that I'm part of the people that the ceiling. He comes with the glory and cloud. Start kneeling, he's the illest. Man, he's the king of all kings. His eyes red, accurate like laser beams. And just balance place in death, a triple beam. Sandman, knockout kings, Mr. Dream. Don't tempt thee, watch out fast, empty. MPs, bullet holes inside your MP. Y'all Egypt goes so quick, so smooth like milk cheese. Bullet holes, flavor that ass, so Swiss please. He's the illest. Gangster, ever to walk, have the body outlined in the street with chalk. Cause he's the illest. The Lord God is breaking your jaw. He's the reason why the God of Babylon must fall. Cause he's the illest. I'm equipped with the shield and the sword. With the Lord standing by my side, I can't fall. Cause he's the illest. Know what I'm saying? Yahweh is the illest. Cause he's the illest. I was molded in the golden era. My flow forever etched in stone. Got it sewn like a polo sweater. I ain't playing with these lame rappers. We ain't cut from the same fabric. I'm blowing your brain backwards. You need to stop it with your weak topics. I'm spitting heat seeking rockets and I'm teaching with the street prophets. Put your head in the guillotine and chop it. If your blood spill on the floor, I use Mr. Clean to mop it. I'm taking action, fatal attraction. If you laying with a wicked woman, you rather stay with a dragon. I sprayed a magnum out the station wagon. I'm breaking bad and shaking bastards like Jason at Crystal Lake cabins. Assalamu alaikum, salami and bacon sandwich. Violations annihilate the contagion actress. Taking matters in my own hands and breaking glasses. Shaking up the nation with the revelation chapters. Jacob's ladder, gotta hate the cracker. Jeffrey Dahmer ate the bladder like cake batter. I shake, rattle, and roll and make a tank shatter. Face splatter, make haste faster or you gon' taste disaster. I'm out of space, NASA. Cause he's the illest. Gangster, ever to walk, have the body outlined in the street with chalk. Cause he's the illest. The Lord God is breaking the jaw. He's the reason why the throne of Babylon must fall. Cause he's the illest. I'm equipped with the shield and the sword. With the Lord standing by my side, I can't fall. Cause he's the illest. Know what I'm saying? Yahweh is the illest. Cause he's the illest. Yeah, listen, the nations ask out God, have you seen her? Yahweh shall beat that ass like she's Tina. You break God's laws, my nigga, he break jaws. Slave horse, cut up heads with claymores. Big choppers, head rocker, cut blocker. They can't ID your flesh from the test. The power of the shotgun bullets, let the mess. Pellets disconnects your face and tear flesh. The Hawashah does it easy with no stress. If death hit you, heat this quick, you got blessed. Hiding in the caves and cliffs, get bitch pressed. Boot marks upon your face, leave imprints. Thanks to the Most High God, we gon' flex. The Hawashah lead the way, we got next. The Alpha male built his team to catch wreck. Bring the way and stuff inside your damn neck. Cause he's the illest. Gangster, ever to walk, have the body outlined in the street with chalk. Cause he's the illest. The Lord God is breaking the jaw. He's the reason why the throne of Babylon must fall. Cause he's the illest. I'm equipped with the shield and the sword. With the Lord standing by my side, I can't fall. Cause he's the illest. Know what I'm saying? All praise. Yahweh is the illest. Cause he's the illest.
Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation. I wanna clock out as soon as I clock in. But a nigga got goals, so I gotta lock in. 30 hours is still broke. I feel like they mocking. Gotta do doubles for a band. I'd rather hit the block then. But damn, so many caught off the Rico. This oppression in it feels like the Book of Job. Instead of the Book of Job, it's like the Book of Job. After paying all them taxes, I feel like I got robbed. Man, you see this, man? I've been working 40 hours and I got J.O.P. Means just over broke. My coworkers get off and they just wanna smoke. Got me, I don't smoke. I'm in this booth too cold. You gotta hear me out. I'm the voice of hope. I don't wanna be stuck in the back of this truck. It's hard as fuck in the back of this truck. Man, just staring at me, feeling petty as fuck. Yeah, I just wanna give up. Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation. But one day we gonna be free. That's the vision that the Lord showed me. But the other day I had a terrible dream. Went to work and AI replaced me. Plantation. 9 to 5 be the time I was wasting. Man, I feel like I need a vacation. Saving up for my resignation. Why I feel like my manager hating. Ain't the one for no verbal castration. This government ain't giving reparation. We'll go to crime trying to fight the temptation.
Yeah. Shout out to my higher now, Yahweh. Shout out to Dark Side for this beat. All praises to my higher now, Yahweh, the house of Israel. Put your hands on your heart for your God. We gonna roll with Yahweh. What? He's out higher now. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher now. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Come on. He's out higher now. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh, he's out higher now. There's none greater than the God Yahweh. Every day he show us his power. And these storms, man, they devour. He has bodies, man, every hour. Life is sour, but he brings power. And his son, yes, we do honor. He's our father, a mighty father. And you defile us, why even bother? All you wicked ass men that started these problems, but he's the problem solver. Man, these scriptures hit like a revolver. Shrapnel in your face like a bomber. Daughters of Zion, let's go warn her that the Lord God is about to abhor her. Wait, hold up. This is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Hayanawa and to show Hayanawa that we have truly repented. Ain't no reason for a brother to come up the camp at the front like he got still. But if it's real little brother by the will of the Yahweh, your camp, he might just bail. Wait, hold up. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. What? We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher now. Let's go. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Hallelujah. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Who the hell said Yahweh ain't real? Don't make a cop back or the steal. Make you clap like you was a seal. Or a pig to the slaughter, you squeal. Like the devils in the Bible, it revealed. White women walk past you like ill. To the devils in the crowd that send chills. Hop back in your porch and just peel. White people walk up and they cry. Trying to say that the Bible ain't right. But the Bible said the devil gonna fry. And the Bible said the devil is a lie. You should the devil touch the apple of his eye. Coronavirus that you modify. By the scripture that I scream for the Lord. Angel call upon y'all like a sword. Hold up. This is the reason why I'm living, and the reason why I'm even in existence is to please Hayanawa and to show Hayanawa that we have truly repented. There's no reason for a brother just to come up the camp at the front like he got still. Cause if it's real, then the brother by the will of Yahweh, your gap might just peel. Wait, hold up. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. Yeah. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. Come on. We gonna roll with Yahweh. Yeah. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power. We gonna roll with Yahweh. He's out higher now. We gonna roll with Yahweh, and his name is full of power.
All praises. Hey, Salaki.
Hey, Shalom King, Shiaba Shima Shalakathon.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Mashiach Yahushua Barakatah.
No praises, King. Or Yakin, yeah, H-O-L-A. All praises. Word. Khan, all praises. How things going on, King? How's your evening so far?
Good,
Hey,
going
Salaki,
well.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Khan. Khan. Shalom Shaya.
Put a
Yabba Shima
222 in the
Shalakathon,
chat if
King.
you can hear me.
Khan, we hear you, King.
Khan, we staying diligent and while all our family go partake in this Thanksgiving folly, we gonna rebuke it with excitement, man, through the spirit. All praise.
Shalom.
Khan.
Put a tree.
You can hear us, King? I think you still got some mic problems.
My laptop, bro. This is crazy.
I think you hear him, right? You can hear him, right?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah, Khan, hear him also. I think he can't hear us. Technical difficulties. Yeah, Shai, you can hear us, King? Nah, lie. Yeah, he'll be back. Lord willing. Yeah, King. Yeah, this celebrating this Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. About these doggone Europeans destroyed our Native American brothers and sisters, man. Our people got to stop celebrating this, man. This is so disrespectful, man. I tell my people when I run into them, I say, you celebrating the rape, robbing, and murder of our people, man. Of our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. Their blood in the graves right now is crying out, man. Crying, man, because y'all still celebrating this heathen pagan day, man. The Lord's going to get up with a lot of our people, man. They still docile to celebrate these pagan holidays. It's like they mesmerized to celebrate these holidays and not celebrate our holy days. That's off, man.
Khan, it's very foul how the black community can ignore, right, the suffering and the feelings and emotions that went into that suffering, right, and partake with this celebration of this, even generations later, man.
Right.
Instruction instead of
Absolutely
say,
right.
this is wrong. Me and my house. Con, so we're gonna open up with in prayer. Con, we open up with the Ottawa Palau. Since we gonna get started.
Con.
Okay, Con. Everybody face the east. I'm already facing the east. All praises. And I'm gonna get right into it. Most High willing. Okay, Con.
Hey, Shalom. Can I be heard?
Con, we can hear you, Ak.
Okay, Con. I'm here. Salaki, I had to change phones, man. There's something going on with the other phone. No worries though. Let me see. Switch over to these headphones. All right, man. We're gonna get started with the lesson. We're gonna jump. If one of y'all want to just do the prayer real quick.
All right, Khan, I can go ahead and lead in prayer. All praises. Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yashala.
Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash Haya Shamka. Yahweh Malak Waska Taba'a Ratazaha Haya Isha. Ba Rataza Kawa Haya Bashamayim. Natalanawa Lacham Kalyawam Wasalaknawa. Chabawaf Nawa Kasalak Nawa Chabawafi Nawa Wala'a Taba'i Nawa Banasayawan. Abar Hawashai Nawa Mayan Rai Kaya Laka Hamalakwaf Wala'a Walata Paraf Lawalamyam. Amen. Our Father which art in heaven, holy be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all sin and evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
God. So shalom, family. Yabashim Shalom, Barakatah. Blessings, peace, and blessings to all of you. All praises to the Creator, our only God, and our only and His begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Right. All praises, man. To double honors to all the elders, especially the elders of HOI, but all the elders who paved the way for us today, for us to be able to bring you this information, for us to be able to edify the flock, for us to do our job and clean the blood off our hands. So all praises for that. The water for your attendance. And it's been a bit of a delay, so we're gonna jump right into the info. First thing I want to do though is I gotta address the elephant in the room. One of the major elephants in the room right now is just all of the folly, the clout chasing, and the distractions that's going on in Israel. And I just want to encourage brothers and sisters to stay out of that, to stay out of all of the folly, the distractions, especially the brothers and sisters of HOI. Hey, we're solid in what we teach. We're solid in what we believe. Let that other stuff just, roll. Just let it roll out of the side of your memory. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this stuff is just old doctrines coming back up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun. It's just sensationalism. At the end of the day, we don't even need to get into it, like the specifics of the doctrines, because at the end of the day, we know salvation is only for those who are serving the Lord and who are of the stock of Israel, right? It's for the 1/3 and the 144,000 in the remnant. That's it. So we don't have to go into that. But what I really want to talk about is just like people playing into the folly, right? Don't be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Just because somebody that, and I'm gonna be honest, Israel got a lot of respect to persons. So just because it's somebody out there that you got respect to persons for, you won't admit it. You know what I'm saying? When they come with some new doctrine or something new or something contrary to what you first learned, you're prone to kind of believe it because they're respected in the community. But trust, there's some people in the community that they're just trying to build off of sensationalism. They're trying to do something sideways. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to pay attention to that. Keep doing the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't speak on these situations until I know I have the correct assessment of the situation. So that's why you haven't heard much from me on this topic, or even many brothers from HOI, because we still got to go out there and do the work at the end of the day. We can't dwell on it. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about for us. And that's what it should be about for the rest of the nation, right? Putting your brick in, making sure your election is sure, right? I know some people want to say, I told you so. I knew that. I knew they was bug outs. I knew this. I knew that. Yo, whatever. The Bible said don't even rejoice in, you know what I'm saying, in that type of behavior when your enemy is falling. So, and they're not enemies as in the sense of heathens, but people that, you know, you do have enemies of your own people who just do things contrary to progress. So let's stay focused on progress, right? Because we got a lot of sick people in and out of the truth, that the only thing that can heal them is the scriptures. The only thing that can heal them is understanding a better way to walk every day. And the only way they can get that is through the shepherds that's feeding the flock, through us who's doing the work right now. Right? So we just got to stay focused, man. There's a lot going on in the world, a lot of distractions, a lot of folly, a lot of things that are really against us that do affect us, that we could just make excuses about all day and never, you know what I mean, never come to the knowledge of the truth. Like some people want to just make excuses and, you know, just live, I guess, to the best of their ability, whatever you call it. But that's not what we do here at HOI. That's not what we're supposed to do in the truth. And we want to make sure we standing firm on what we believe, on what we first learned, on our foundation, and, you know, on Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And never waver, man. Don't let none of this. Don't be so fond of these different so-called leaders that you actually entertain something off. You know what I'm saying? You have elders. If you're dealing with HOI, you have elders that have been doing this for 30, 35 years. And they've seen everything in the book, right? They've seen, if you have a question, you can go to them. They've heard these doctrines. Hell, I've been in the truth. I've been doing the work for 8 years, but I've been in the truth 12 years, and I've heard this stuff, and it don't bother me. It don't even move me. You know what I mean? It don't even move me because I see through it. I know what people are doing. Instead of doing the work, instead of working their way into a position, they want to try to sensationalize their way into a position. It's not rocket science. It's shortcut. It's shortcut behavior. It's shortcut science. That's what people are doing. Everybody want to take a shortcut now. Nobody want to go out there and stand on the corner and damn near, you know what I'm saying, have to square up, you know what I'm saying, and build themselves up. Nobody want to do the work for real. That's the problem. Right. You got to do the work. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way around it. You could try to create all the, you know what I'm saying, the doctrines to get all the attention every week. You could do that, but you're eventually going to be looked at like a bug out if that's what you're doing. Right? And so that's all I got to say about the situation, man. Don't buy into sensationalism. Stay focused on the work that you're currently doing and try to see if you can add a little more for the Lord. Right? Let me get 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14 real quick. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14.
Come on, King. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 14. But continue, thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Right. So be assured of what you first learned, right? Know who you learned it from. You didn't learn these scriptures from no bug outs. Now, some people did learn what they know from some bug outs. That's why they bugging out. You see how that works? A bad tree cannot bear good fruit. And so you got some people that's coming off of that bad tree and they're trying to desperately, you know, try to save their reputation, but they ruining it. And so these are just the type of things that the scripture's talking about, man. Like, we got to stay focused, man. We got to stay focused, right? Stick to what you first learned. Don't be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be that. That's just like, you know, if you're a Christian or if you're in the beginning stages of, if you're a novice, right, in this thing and you don't really know what's the truth, then you're tossed to and fro. But once you actually say you in this truth and you grounded, doctrine should not be throwing you off your square. You know what I'm saying? Doctrine should not be throwing you off your square. If you're thrown off of your square, you're not in a solid circle and you're not serving the Lord in a solid way. That's the only way that you could be confounded to the point where, oh, I need to change. We need to change my whole doctrine. Not like, no. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures are telling you, stick with what you first learned. Somebody might come and try to add a twist to it and, oh, you know what I'm saying? The Gentiles, Yeah, they won't be. They're gonna be vassal or whatever the hell the details are. Listen, man, we know they're gonna be lucky to even make it into the kingdom. If they make it, the ones that make it in to be served, to be slaves. So we know what we know. The Bible is telling you here, don't doubt what you know, right? Especially when you learned it from tenured, respected elders. But when you learned it from wishy-washy, you know what I'm saying? People who, want to do Passovers at the strip club and play, do some pegging. Like I don't know about what you know. I don't know if what you know is really actually a foundation for you to even keep going and keep trying to do whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is stick with what you first learned. Don't keep nobody will follow you if you change your doctrines once a year, 2-3 times a year.
Message.
Right? Get 1 John 2:24. Let me get 1 John 2:24. If your doctrine change, if you change major portions of your doctrine every year or nobody's gonna follow you. Everybody knows that you're confused. Right? So it's just not a good look, man. We gotta stay focused on the prize. There's too much going on in the world. Too many people. The 1/3 is not sealed. They're not woke yet. We still got to finish up that work. Read that.
Come, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 24. Let that therefore abide in you, which ye have heard from the beginning. If that which ye have heard from the beginning shall remain in you, ye also shall continue in the Son and in the Father.
Right. So let that what you learned in the beginning abide in you. Let that stay in you. Right? Stop being tossed to and fro because you think these dudes cool because they got 500,000 views or they got 300,000 views on each video. How you know they not buying some of the views? How you know what I'm saying? That just ain't what the Lord using them for. Like we gotta let go of the respect of persons, Israel. I mean, just because they sound very educated, they sound very smart. They're very what's the words I want to use? They're very eloquent and they're very witty. Just because somebody's very witty and very eloquent doesn't mean they're a leader. It doesn't mean that they're moral, right? It doesn't mean that they deep in their heart, you know what I'm saying, that they may not have an agenda, right? Just because somebody's like that kills me about so-called black people, about my people, because it's a lot of, and I'm just gonna be plain right here. It's a lot of niggas that sound very intelligent, that know how to sound the part. They know how to read. You know what I'm saying? They even know the definitions of the words that they use, and they may have they did a little bit of college, so they're convincing. But that doesn't mean that the Lord is dealing with them enough for them to change doctrine, or you know what I'm saying, or even you know what I'm saying, put on one of the shoes of the elders. Like I ain't trust me, I ain't dealing with that. I'm not believing that one. You know what I'm saying? Like men that's brought damn near all the people that's in the truth into the truth. All of a sudden, you expect me to think all of a sudden they just lost the spirit and you got it. You just started this thing a few years ago. Like, chill out. Let's just be honest. Chill out. They're just like me. You know what I'm saying? I would use LeBron, but a lot of people hate LeBron right now. It's just like me playing on a team with Jordan, and you know what I'm saying? I'm a rookie, and I'm gonna come in and tell Jordan he need to play a whole different way. Man, you better sit down somewhere. Like you a rookie, you better carry my bag, bring my bags. You worry about bringing my bags to the bus. You worry about the wrong thing right now. That'd be the problem with Israel. You worried about the wrong thing right now, bro. Like let's keep the main thing. All right, stick to what you first learned. Let me get Romans chapter 16, verse 17 and 18. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be just jumping off the porch. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that now the Lord dealing with you, everybody need to listen to you. You just jumped out the porch. Like only somebody else that just jumped out the porch is gonna run with you. I'm sorry. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all grown 40, 50, 60-year-olds, y'all should know better too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should know better just from living life that long. Read what you got.
Come on, King. This is the book of Romans, chapter 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine.
Do what to them?
Them which cause divisions and
you mark
offenses.
Them. You mark them, right? It says mark. Read on.
Mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
And avoid them. No, join their camp. No, learn under them. Avoid them, right? You see how many people are divided just because of a little BS doctrine? You see how many people are going at it, going back and forth? That's division. When you do something that causes division, the Bible says the Lord tells us to avoid you. But you got people whose feet are swift to run the mischief. You got people whose feet are just, you know what I'm saying? Just like the pitter patter of a little toddler. You know what I'm saying? Just footsteps everywhere. They over here, they over there. That's why they can't learn. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why people are confused. They over here, they find out HOI teaches Cornelius is an Edomite or is a heathen. And then the other camps want to make everybody an Israelite. So then now, you know what I'm saying? Now what happens? Now you confused. You're supposed to be in HOI, but you've been learning from all these other camps that they teaching that everybody is an Israelite. But that's why a Christian will take you to the cleaners. A Christian will cut your ass, Salakia. Excuse me. A Christian will cut you 7 ways. You know what I'm saying? If you take the stance that everybody in the Bible is an Israelite, you won't be able to defend every position. So I'm not even gonna get too deep into that. Just you know, pay attention to what's going on, right? Stick to the script and just mark those people that continually do things that don't unite us.
That's right.
Where's the unity camps at? Right? Last time I checked, HOI, we do unity. We do a lot of unity events and camps. Trying to do what? Trying to bring the flock together. Trying to get brothers and sisters to do the work together. Not doing things to divide the flock. Right? That's counterproductive to what we need to be doing out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's just too much going on in the world. Right? Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? Or should I say Orange Man, for the sake of, you know, the video and how things be going. Orange Man is changing a lot of things and making things you know, hard for so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, making things harder for so-called blacks, Native, and Hispanics every day, right? I'm saying immigrants getting scooped up every day. Right now, he just deleted a bunch of professional degrees of people that, now I know in the truth, a lot of people in the truth, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a lot of people don't have degrees. I'm just gonna say that a lot of brothers and sisters didn't go to school route that I've met, right? So this information may not affect certain brothers and sisters as much, but you got people that work their butts off. You know what I'm saying? Work their butts off right out of high school. They, you know, maybe they did believe in the American dream, but you know, they so-called nurses and people that with business degrees, and now, you know, things that they worked hard for are being diminished. AI is taking over.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that's out of work. You know what I'm saying? They used to work for Amazon and different places because they've now created whole AI warehouses. You know what I'm saying? And the people that love technology, they think this is a cool thing. They think this is a great thing. This is a cool thing. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like a famine. A certain form of famine is coming for our people because everything that so-called black people do is being targeted. If you're an independent contractor, which I am actually. If you're an independent contractor, you're somebody that works for yourself, have your own LLC. Trump is making it very hard to get those contracts now because of the way he's playing with the budgets, the tariffs. The money's not right. The money ain't never right. he's doing like with people that are nurses, right? See, I think I can see what the Trump administration is doing. People that are in the medical field, the people that he's taking their so-called degrees away from, they make a lot of money being contractors, like by contracting themselves out the same way I do. You know, in any profession, if you contract yourself out, you'll make 4 to 5 times more in 4 to 5 times less of the time than the average person. Meaning you'll make lucrative money fast. So a lot of so-called black people are doing what? They're now finding that out. White people been doing it. A lot of so-called black people, we're doing it now, and we're making a lot of money doing it. So what it looks like Trump is doing is he's cutting off a lot of people's money because so that the money can't be used to do anything prosperous. Like Trump really wants to create nothing but a rich class and nothing but a poor class. Nobody in the middle, right? And AI is one of the tools that they're using. As a matter of fact, hey Abner, could you go to that link that's under the AI? We're gonna go to something that's talking about AI right now. We're going to go to a quick video on what's going on with AI right now and just the state of this economy in America. We need to understand some things and we need to apply it to scripture because, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot going on for people that actually go out there and work and earn a living. There's a lot going on for people that, you know, are trying to be progressive, and certain things we just can't see if we're not really in that field or we don't have friends. Like I don't know anybody. I don't even know anybody in the truth that does what I do at a corporate level, except for maybe I think Yawal, Joel, and he talks about a lot of the same things that I go through, right? But I don't know a lot of people that do what I do. So we have to break these things down and show these videos to try to keep our people ahead of the game. Because, you know, it's just getting real crucial right now. And we got to just, you know what I'm saying, hang in there, keep the faith, and do the work. You got that link, Abner, under the AI part of my lesson? Is Abner hearing me? Yeah, man, because
on May 16th, 2025, I woke up and was ready to get into my graduation gown for the day of celebration of Villanova's graduation ceremony. My family and friends came from pretty much across the country to see me walk across the stage and receive my diploma.
Michael, Sean, Matthias.
Yeah, Michael!
I was really on top of the world, super excited to finally have the diploma that shows my hard work over those 4 years. I was super excited to apply those skills to the job market, to an employer, and finally be an independent adult. Flash forward a couple months into the job search, it's been a little demoralizing. The job market has been very tough, especially for the new grads. I have been on my job search since November 2024. I've been applying anywhere and everywhere, and it has been a little difficult to even get to the initial interviews that I want to get to.
The job market is kind of trash right now. I mean, it's really difficult. It's really difficult for people who have many years of experience. So it's going to be difficult for college kids.
The rise of youth unemployment is worrisome. For the individual worker, we can see that graduating in a recession leaves long-lasting scars for decades after.
These workers are a vital part of the labor market. And if they're having a hard time, that means that the economy could have a hard time.
For the broader economy, these youth workers might be early indicators that the overall economy is slowing down or maybe even heading towards a recession.
For the first time in modern history, a bachelor's degree is no longer a reliable path to professional employment.
If you look at the overall labor market, it's still doing strong. Unemployment rates in general are still fairly low. But then when you zoom in on the young workers, they seem to be struggling.
The unemployment rate among young U.S. workers aged 16 to 24 stood at 10.4% in September. It's generally been trending upward since April 2023, when it dipped to the lowest point since the pandemic.
And in particular, there's been a worrisome rise in unemployment rates among recent college graduates. Usually we think of those as being some of the safest workers in our economy, but that pattern seems to be flipping right now.
I think that is because two factors. One is the supply of workers with a bachelor's degree is increasing, but at the same time, partly because of AI, the demand for workers with a bachelor degree is not increasing anymore. So we have a glut of people with a bachelor degree. Their wage growth is growing more slowly, and with AI continuing to automate more and more jobs, I expect that the trend to continue.
Artificial intelligence has allowed some corporate giants to hire fewer workers, and some have even begun shrinking their workforces as they integrate more automation. Goldman Sachs says it could displace 6 to 7% of the US workforce over the next decade. Young workers are feeling AI's impact the most. A Stanford study finds that since 2022.
So as you can see, a direct result of the increase of AI use or the pertinence of it in our daily lives is making it harder for people to even get hired. Now, I know this is Esau here, right? A lot of this is Esau, right? Talking about stuff that Esau goes through. But this does affect some Israelites. This does affect Israelites, right? AI doing what it's doing and what, the way that they're using it, it is affecting people's ability to even get the job in the first place and to keep your job, right? And you may not see how it deals with you and what you do, but in a lot of ways, it's coming for people in unexpected ways, and they're ending up, taking major L's because of something that's directly related to AI. Go ahead and play the video.
Unemployment for 22 to 25-year-olds in highly AI-exposed jobs has dropped 13%, while older workers and those in less exposed roles remain steady or growing.
I think AI and machine learning is absolutely taking entry-level careers from new graduates like myself. From a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. You get something that can produce results a lot quicker. I really can't blame employers for making those steps, in my mind, the right direction to save money, cut costs. But it's a little frustrating from my standpoint because I'm looking for a full-time career somewhere to really put my skills to work.
Especially for larger corporations that are trying to go through AI transformation. Some of it could be tied to AI from a perspective of they're trying to let go of people in other departments so that they can invest more in AI. But at the same time, I think what's also happening is the AI systems that can write code, especially at junior level, has gotten really good. And because of that, we are already seeing, especially in tech companies, the need for a number of junior engineers has gotten lower.
The Federal Reserve has also taken notice.
You see a significant number of companies either announcing that they are not going to be doing much hiring or actually doing layoffs. Much of the time, they're talking about AI and what it can do. So we're watching that very carefully.
But there is another element here, which is more and more young people are going to college and at a much higher rate than the baby boomers who are now retiring. So what's happening is that the workforce is becoming more and more educated over time. And perhaps to the degree that we have a glut of college grads,
AI might be having a little bit of impact. But I think right now, what's really driving a lot of this youth unemployment is the fact that businesses just in general are not bringing on new workers. And so whether you're unemployed or whether you're trying to get in the labor market for the first time, right now is a really difficult time to find a job.
All right, pause
there.
Just
a few years ago, many companies, especially
all right, we're going to go to the next video, the unemployment video, in a second, Abner, but just give me 1 second. Bring out Matthew 24, verse 7 first, and then you go to the next video, Abner. But bring out Matthew 24, verse 7 first, because this, as you can see, a lot of companies have just stopped hiring. So, Israelites, we already the last hired, first fired. You know what I'm saying? So now that they're not even hiring, you know what I'm saying? You just got a lot of things going on where people are gonna be in some bad situations, and people are in some very bad situations right now. Read that.
God. It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 7. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Right. Hey, unemployment, the lack of employment is, you know what I'm saying? That's a form of famine. So because how you gonna make bread to eat? You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't like to beg. Everybody don't like to have their hand out asking somebody for something. How are you gonna make bread to feed your family? Right? AI is gonna push. It's gonna push some people into bad situations and damn near starvation. It could be the beginning of certain types of famine. But we know there's all other types of issues that are gonna happen according to prophecy, right? But a lot of people are losing their careers, not just a job, not just something that you can go to. Anybody can fill out an application and go up in there and get on a forklift. You know what I'm saying? Not just a job. A lot of people are losing careers, things that they put more work in their lifetime into than they put into, anything else. And a lot of people are, you know what I'm saying? This is what's going on in 2025 with the economy, with the technology, with not just the other devices that Esau is creating. This is one of the things that wasn't even meant to be a device, but it's basically becoming a device of the demise of a lot of people's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. Play that other link right quick. The next link about unemployment. Let's get into that. You got that, Abner? Abner, I'm about to send you another link too. I'm about to send it to your WhatsApp right now. But yeah, play that. I'm about to send another link to your WhatsApp right now.
This continent has some of the most dramatic landscapes on the planet, from the ocean shorelines to the alpine mountains and the sandy deserts. And also in this landmass from coast to coast and everywhere in between, there lived hundreds, if not thousands of different nations, tribes of people whose land this was. This was their home. But then others showed up to these shorelines in their boats. And that is when everything changed. In the spring of 1803, two American politicians visiting Paris closed the sweetest real estate deal they had ever seen. With the simple stroke of a pen, their country doubled in size, all for just $15 million. But in this deal, which was called the Louisiana Purchase, the US didn't actually buy this land from France. France didn't actually own the land. What the United States was buying was the imperial rights to this huge swath of North America. This basically meant that France would stay out of the way and let the budding new empire, the United States, colonize it without interfering. If the United States really wanted ownership over this land, they would need to get it from the people who were here first, which at the time was lots of different native tribes. These are the people who had been here for thousands of years, way before Europeans had the idea of leaving their continent. And this land that the US just bought was theirs.
EVE Online is a vast...
Oh, and this isn't just me, like some modern enlightened person looking back and judging the United States at this.
Right. So this ain't the video about unemployment. I don't think I sent it to you, Adam. So don't worry about it. No worries. We're gonna keep going into this video. This is gonna go into the Thanksgiving topic and how, for Thanksgiving, how they really stole this country from the Native Americans. Like some details some that we know and some that we don't know. So we're just gonna kind of go through this video, and then I got a couple of books that I'm gonna go into. So we're just gonna go through this video, and just kind of skip the current event section. We out of the current event section now, and now we into the Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving topic. Go ahead and let that play out. Salaki.
Time. The U.S. knew that this wasn't their land and that they were going to have to buy it from the people living there. And their big plan was to do things differently, not like the old imperial powers that they had just broken away from. In fact, George Washington was, quote, determined that the U.S. government's administration of Indian affairs shall be directed entirely by the great principles of justice and humanity. Go USA, let's do this in the right way. So instead of conquest, they would negotiate and sign formal treaties with these native nations. Then they would pay them for their land, fair and square. After all, this was a country whose founding document highlights justice, tranquility, welfare, and liberty. In our series, How the U.S. Stole, we get to see how the U.S. grew from a group of English settlers to a global superpower. But none of those stories would exist without this one, the origin story, the first thing that the U.S. ever stole. So Europeans are pouring into this newly formed country, the United States. And the government is making deals and signing treaties with the tribes, allowing these newcomer immigrants to settle on their land. At first, this is a fairly peaceful transactional process. The US would offer food, farming equipment, cash, the services of a blacksmith, all in exchange for ownership over this land. But unsurprisingly, a lot of these tribes had no interest in moving out of their ancestral lands in exchange for, like, farming equipment. And this is where all of George Washington's ideals of justice and humanity really start to dissolve. The US was becoming a more powerful nation. They needed more land for their booming population. So the impatient settlers and their government started playing dirty.
The westward movement was like a great tidal wave.
You start to see what happens when these tribes say no to the newly powerful United States. In one instance, one group of tribes up near the Great Lakes didn't want to sell their land. They told the United States that this river would be the border and to not cross it, to stay off their land. The US said no, and they took them to war and lost twice. But on the third time, they won the battle and forced the tribes to sign a treaty giving away all of this land, basically all of present-day Ohio. Something very similar happened down here when the Seminole tribes refused to leave their land. The U.S. military came in, another war, killing thousands, forcing the tribes to sign a treaty and pushing them into the swampy interior of the state, where they had no access to their farmland or the ocean. Down here in what was becoming Alabama, the Muskogee Nation refused to sign a relocation treaty, but not wanting to go to war, agreed to sell a portion of their land in return for a guarantee that they could keep the rest. And the United States agreed, and they actually did. And the Muskogee kept their ancestral lands forever. Womp womp, no, that didn't happen. 4 years later, a bunch of white settlers moved in, boxing the Muskogee out of their ancestral land. As tensions grew because of this violated agreement, the US military was called in to force the Muskogee out of their lands. No treaty was ever signed. I mean, the shenanigans ranged the whole gamut here. They would get tribal leaders drunk to trick them into signing this paper that gave them all the land. They would appoint random people to be the tribal leaders and then tell them to sign away the land for the whole tribe. In another conflict, the Sioux and Arapaho nations defeated the U.S. military over and over until the U.S. finally signed a peace treaty acknowledging their land.
Parents of children who play Roblox. If your child was sexually exploited,
and they were safe. Until gold was discovered 8 years later, and the U.S. broke their treaty, redrew the boundaries, built roads on their land, and before you know it, you've got a bunch of white guys with gold pans harvesting this land. Treaties and justice be damned. Eventually, other tribes caught on to what was going to happen, realizing that refusing the U.S. government would mean violence. So they would sign the paper, take the money, and leave. Over the course of almost 100 years.
See how wicked Esau is?
Come.
You know what I'm saying? See how wicked Esau is? Esau comes in with a smile, but war is in his heart. You know what I'm saying? You see all those treaties that he made and just reneged on them, and next thing you know, he's coming with the musket gun and the Gatling gun. You know what I'm saying? He wicked, man. Habakkuk 2 and 4. And for those who don't know who I'm talking about, Esau, the so-called white man. is wicked, always been wicked, right? Cannot hold to an agreement to save his life. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. And they have the nerve to call Native Americans and Mexicans immigrants. The last time I heard, or illegal aliens, the last time I heard, or the last time I checked, they didn't come over here with no paperwork either. They didn't come over here and do no type of legal process to call themselves an American. The last time I checked. So how in the hell do they have the nerve to say that the Mexicans need to come into this country the right way? Nigga, like, what is the right way? You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all definitely didn't come here the right way. Because we looking at it right now. And then we ain't even get deep into it yet. Read that. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4.
Come on. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Right. Esau, the so-called white man, his soul is not just in him. Like, deep down in his soul, he knew he wanted to steal everything that the Native Americans had and kill them. You know what I'm saying? And he just doing these fake Thanksgiving events, which we know were rituals to their own deities. They weren't rituals to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Just fooling our people with fake gatherings and bogus gifts. And what? Our people, a gift destroyed their heart. Our people, Gad, as strong warriors as they were, but a gift did destroy their heart, because they should have slaughtered those damn pilgrims, those 100 pilgrims, when they tried to get off the boat in 16.
That's right.
Con, I got a precept for that, King.
Yeah, any precepts y'all got, of course, King. Any precepts y'all got, you can bring them out. Or just say I got a precept, you know what I'm saying? Or even doing everything that I'm saying, if one of you brothers want to say something. Or if anybody else that want to tap in and say something, just say Salakia. You good.
Con, Salakia, I got a precept in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, starting at verse 10 through verse 12. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast one of them. But thou should have not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither should have thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither should have thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. And so that's what they do every year with this wicked feast. They rejoice over the destruction of the children of Judah, man. But the Bible say that, you know, they shame shall cover them for this thing.
That's right.
God. All praises. Good precept, Art. Yeah, man. Shame's gonna cover them, brother, because you know they furthered the affliction. You know what I mean? Like, and they didn't. Those settlers didn't even have to come over here. There's plenty of land over that way. You know what I'm saying? But they knew the children of Israel was here. They can't flourish anywhere in the world without the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's downtrodden. Whatever position that we in, the only reason why the certain lands that they possess have success is because the children of Israel are there.
That's right.
In slavery or in servitude, right? But yeah, the so-called white man, is a wicked bastard, man. Spirit is not upright in him, never will be. And anybody trying to bring a heathen like that into the congregation, you got to be bugging out, bro. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We got to take some of these brothers to get tested, bro. Anybody that's thinking about bringing that type of abomination near the children, and just really being around us and knowing what we're doing and what we got going on, and being somewhat equal. How can a person commit so many atrocities, like literally a genocide, not only on the Native Americans, but think about every indigenous people group in every land. Think about the Australians, the Aborigines. Think about like how they just wipe not only the buffalo and certain animals out, they even extinct people because they're just that murderous. You think the Lord wants them people with that type of blood on their hands? he wants the descendants of those peoples in his kingdom. Like, sometimes common sense ain't always common, I guess, huh? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and play the video again. Common sense is not always common. You know? Yeah.
I'm not getting no sound on the video.
Yeah, Salaki, Abner, we're not getting no sound out. You gotta unmute
Today's
it.
video. Lately, I've been hearing from some sponsors that my videos are too political, which is kind of a bummer because we work really hard to tell really cool stories. And if that means that people don't want to sponsor us, that's fine. Luckily, we have a Patreon where all of you can support this work. It's called The Newsroom. We call it The Newsroom because it just sounds cooler than Patreon. But it is a place where you can support what we are doing, which is something more and more particularly difficult.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual time.
I left the tickets on the plane.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Difficult for this extermination project that was going down. Here in the Deep South, you had these 5 large nations that lived side by side with the settlers for a long time. They had all signed treaties with the United States that acknowledged their right to this land. Many of them spoke English, practiced farming, wore European clothes. Some even owned slaves. Because of this, these 5 tribes, the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Muskogee, and Seminole, were known as the 5 civilized tribes. And there's an alternative world where these tribes could have remained on their land, living side by side with the Europeans as they settled. But that's not what happened, mostly because of cotton. Farmers down here were getting super rich off of a very valuable cash crop called cotton that they could sell to textile mills around the world. It was an industry made even more profitable by its key input, free labor from stolen Africans. There was this one strip of land down here.
Going into slavery. But you get the gist of it, right? Esau's spirit is not upright in him. Let me get the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Right? Esau's spirit is just not upright in him. And our people right now already finished celebrating this folly day, right? You know, just all they did was celebrate the mockery of our Native American brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And, you know, the mockery of Esau mocking us by making it a holiday and putting it right in our face, putting all the information in our face and just making a mockery of the Lord through the murder, the rampage that he went on with our people, and making a mockery of it all by not telling us the truth, by not even teaching us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like teaching us some BS about, you know what I'm saying, Squanto and Christopher Columbus, and like always just a story where they the good guy. When that really, you know, that's really not the way things went down. Read what you got.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the borders of wickedness.
Call them what?
The borders of wickedness.
That's what Esau, that's what the so-called white man is. The Bible says he's the border of wickedness.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's right there. Wherever some wickedness at, he's right there. Right? Esau, you know, the so-called the spirit that's in these so-called white people is different. Right? Why do you think when the music comes on, they can't even dance and catch the beat? But your Hispanic brothers and sisters, when they hear the music, they can catch the beat and dance. Of course, you know what Judah and the 12 tribes are gonna do. Even Ishmael could feel the beat and could kind of like dance or salsa on beat and not be off beat. But Esau is like he trying to dodge a truck or something. It's like he in traffic trying to dodge traffic or something. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, man. Like his spirit is just not right up. It's not upright in him.
So,
We're
Lucky,
gonna
I
bring out
got 3 quick presets
Con.
on that.
Yeah, bring out what you got, King.
The book of
Bad.
Colossians, chapter 2 and verse 8. And it reads, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Because Thanksgiving is a man-made holiday created by colonizers, and it's not a feast commanded by God.
That's right.
You getting fooled by the traditions of men and vain deceit. And the cross reference to precept where that is the book of Mark, chapter 7, starting at verse 7, where it reads, in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. For well ye reject the commandments of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. And see, that's what y'all do. Y'all reject God's commandments and follow after traditions that promote genocide, man, and glorify the murder of your own people. It's insanity. You have a glorious feast every year and pass that tradition down generation after generation, right? But you ain't eat that good during Passover. You ain't eat that good during none of the righteous holy days that the Most High commanded us to keep, right? So, the shame should be upon y'all for so proudly and glorifying and dancing at your own destruction, man.
God. Asha, you about to say something? I thought I heard somebody say something.
Hola, I ain't gonna say nothing.
God. Yeah, man, it's our people, they don't even consider, right? You know what I'm saying? We know Hosea 4 and 6, that our people destroy for lack of knowledge, but they don't even consider, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't even consider that there's something wrong that they doing. They just like, yo, we've been doing this all our life. Man, I work. They just say stuff like, man, I work my butt off. I'm off work today. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna celebrate something, but you can celebrate. But why do you have to celebrate the rape, robbery, and murder of your own people?
That's right.
Why do you have to celebrate really Esau keeping you in ignorance for over 400 years? Because that's what you're doing. You celebrating being ignorant.
That's right.
Because just because you don't know what happened, you like, well, I don't know and I don't want to know, and you don't care. So these are the type of reasons why the Most High will put you in the lake of fire, because you don't give a damn about nothing but yourself.
That's right.
And that's the problem with our people, selfish, man. Like, just want to eat some damn, you know what I'm saying? Just want to eat some damn turkey and dressing. Like, bro, don't you know we're gonna get into what turkey and dressing, what all this stuff even represents. You know what I'm saying? It's a representation of the murder of our people, everything about it. But at the end of the day, like I said, we just on the tip of the iceberg on the information. But at the end of the day, man, you know, so many people want to scream Happy Thanksgiving. Like, everybody been telling me Happy Thanksgiving, and I get tired of telling people I don't celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I gotta go through the whole spiel on why I can't say it back, because I'm not saying it back. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying happy idolatry day, because there is a piece of idolatry that goes into Thanksgiving too.
That's
that people
right.
are actually serving a false god, right? That I'm gonna get into that too. But right now, if there's no more precepts, nobody got nothing else to bring out that goes, or just a comment to this precept, then I want to go to Elder Zaquan's book, the notes that I sent Abner, Elder Zaquan's book, The Holiday Hustle. This is the book right here. It's a very rare book. You can't even find it on PDF online. You have to order this book, or you have to order it from Elder Zaquan himself. I got it from Elder Zaquan himself. This is, when I say Elder Zaquan, he's one of the elders of the House of David. He's one of our elders, and he's one of 8 Priest of Bach and Elder Terah's elders, and he actually was at Elder Terah's wedding in Houston, and he did the author of this book was one of the people that was a minister at Elder Terah's wedding. And the name of this book is The Holiday Hustle, right? by Frank Zaquan Jordan. Go look him up on Facebook. Frank Zaquan Jordan or Elder Zaquan, right? Look him up on Facebook, Frank Zaquan. And if you want to buy any of his books, he has a lot of books. You want to buy any of his books, just go holler at him. You know what I'm saying? He'll give you a good price. Ship it to you. So you got that, Abner? Can you pull up those slides of starting with the first page that I sent you? And once again, these are the details of Native American history chronicled by Elder Frank Zaquan Jordan in his book called The Holiday Hustle.
Con, I got a quick preset while he's bringing that up.
Go ahead, Doc.
Salakia, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it reads, in those days went there out wicked men, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. So they built a place of exercise and were made uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. See, this is Thanksgiving. Israel choosing the customs of the nations over the covenant of God.
God. Facts. That's what they did, huh? You know. And, you know, one of the reasons the things that happened to our Native American brothers and sisters happened was because they were over here, they had got off into idolatry. They had got away from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So, you know, never think that Esau was just so strong or so smart or so cunning. Never think that the so-called white man was just so smart or so powerful that he just overcame Gad, because Gad gave him hell. It took him hundreds of years to get Gad out of these different places and into the Trail of Tears. It wasn't like Esau just walked in here now. You know what I'm saying? Gad was fighting. Gad was chopping heads out. He was scalping them. You know what I mean? But you know, in the end, you know, Gad had gotten too far away from the Most High, and it was just prophecy for these things that are happening now to happen. You know what I mean? Can you zoom in on that, Yakim? I want you to read this first page. If you can enlarge that.
Con, I can read it. I can see it.
Okay.
Con, it reads, the only Native American Indians who attended the Pilgrims' Thanksgiving in 1637 were those Pequots taken captive during a very violent raid that preceded it. On May 26, 1637, at least 700 of the tribe's estimated 8,000 members were slaughtered by Caucasian English settlers from 4 colonies and their native allies. This became known as the Pequot Massacre. Bloodshed was the most consistent theme of the first Thanksgiving. In the New World, an English privateer named John Winthrop was killed by allies of the Pequot in retaliation for an attack that killed the Pequot chief, Tato Bim. And a misguided counterattack, 2 colonial officers led several hundred men to a Pequot settlement, which would be known today as Connecticut, and ordered them to burn hundreds of huts housing some of 800 to 1,000 Pequot Indians, shooting or stabbing those that fled fires. Those who survived the attacks were sold into slavery, and with hundreds, if not thousands, of Pequots slaughtered and murdered, the Governor Bradford deemed it appropriate to call for Thanksgiving to celebrate their victory.
See that? You see that? Your Thanksgiving that you're celebrating was called for by Governor Bradford because he deemed it appropriate to call this day Thanksgiving, to give thanks for all the murder of thousands of our Native American, hundreds and thousands of our Native American brothers, the Pequot Indians, going in there and burning them while they were asleep in their huts like some cowards, instead of fighting them Straight up. This is who the so-called white man is. I don't give a damn about what's nobody talking about today, talking about, oh, that's their ancestors. They didn't do it. I don't give a damn about that. They got the same spirit as the ancestors. That's what the Bible tells us, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Those spirits that were back then that was burning and killing our people, they back on the earth today. They're just in a different vessel, a different person. Right?
Khan, I got a quick precept for that, Salakia.
Khan.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, starting at verse 31. And it reads, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time.
Right. God. And that's just prophecy, man. And the Lord brings fire to us when we disobey him, man. Those of our brothers, they got burned in their sleep, man. Those Pequot Indians. And when they ran out, they shot them and stabbed them. But these types of things, that's not, they can't put that in the history books in elementary school. They just want to say Christopher Columbus in 1492 sailed the ocean blue. But they don't want to give you those kind of details on why they really were giving thanks for being able to steal somebody else's land. They're giving thanks. But you know, the whole thing of giving thanks, though, I had some other videos. I thought I put them in the thing I gave to Abner, but I don't think he got it. I had a bunch of other videos. The whole thing about the way that Europeans used to give thanks was different. They gave thanks. They were giving thanks to their deities, not to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when they were doing that Thanksgiving harvest in 1621, when they were doing that with the Wampanoag Indians, which Chief Massasoit was the leader of, when they were doing that in 1621, do you think that those white people were talking about all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua at that Thanksgiving? No, they weren't giving thanks. They were not giving thanks to Yahushua or Yahweh. They're giving thanks to a god called Ceres, Cerealia, like eating like cereal. When you eat cereal, there's a god, a false god called Cerealia, who they used to. It was a god of the harvest. This is when they gave thanks. This is who they was giving thanks to. These false gods. So that's paganism, right? So you blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics in 2025, you have become pagans. We're gonna go into what a pagan is later, but how are you a pagan? You think you're a Christian? Oh, you think you're you think you're an atheist. If you celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas and all these holidays, you're a pagan. Because everything you're celebrating is a worship of a false deity. And you don't even know what you're doing is a ritual to them. The cranberry and the turkey and all these different things part of a ritual. What you got up?
Khan, I was gonna say, and as it said in Baruch chapter 4 and verse 33, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. So the Most High is gonna turn their thanks into grief, man. You know, all they celebration is gonna be brought back upon their head as grief. For just as the same magnitude of thanks that they've been given since that dreadful day of that massacre, right, is going to be double the amount of grief brought upon them and they head, and that they're gonna that we're gonna be celebrated, man, and they grieve, right? Because it says as was I fall, so shall be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. All right, their pride and their bloodshed, man, is gonna be turned to mourning, right? Because that's the righteousness of the Most High God, man. They don't. When the people think that that the world is gonna continue in this way, and these people are going to be able to celebrate their slaughters right, answered for, right, for generations after generation, man. And that's madness. You know?
Yeah,
The Most
God.
High has an answer for it.
Yeah. Most High always got an answer for it, man. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold your breath, but it's definitely coming. Abner, get that next page, 1637, the Pequot Massacre. It's just more details on the Pequot Massacre. I know we had a brother to go into some things earlier this week on the Tuesday class. I'm trying to go into some other things that he may have not got into. So that way we not just really just, going over the same information. You know what I'm saying? From different sources. But yeah, read that. That's the next page. That's 1637, the Pequot Massacre. And if you could zoom that picture in a little bit so people could actually see, look at the picture and then read, so they can have the experience of looking at the book, even though they're not looking at the book. Yeah, go ahead and read that out. Can you see it?
Khan, you want me to read that? Khan.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
It reads, in essence, the Thanksgiving that we know today has its origins in an ethnic blood cleansing of the Pequot Indians. The English, following the siege, even called for the name Pequot to be outlawed. And today there is only about 1,500 surviving members of the tribe. But as the word continued to spread in England about the paradise and gold to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Finding that the native Indians had no fences around their land, they considered it to be public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they stole and seized the land from the natives, capturing strong young native Indians for slaves and killing the rest. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest wars, the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. In 1637, in the pre-dawn hours of the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside their houses were burned alive. The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men and women and children had been murdered. Man, that is disgusting, man.
Every time you turn around, they were declaring so many Thanksgivings, right? They were declaring so many Thanksgivings that one of the governors came out and just said, we got to make one day for Thanksgiving. And instead of everybody, every time they massacred a tribe of Native American Indians, they would have a Thanksgiving day, right? The next day. So they were having the pilgrims and the new settlers were killing so many Native Americans that they were having all these different Thanksgiving. As you can see, this is a different time that they celebrated something, a Thanksgiving. It was on a whole different day, a whole different time. So whenever they would murder or slaughter a group of our Native American brothers and sisters, they would have basically a religious, because their Thanksgiving involved their religion. So it's not just like what you doing on Thanksgiving today, where you are going and you just eating the food and the turkey and hanging with your family. No, they were actually, if you really do the research, Thanksgiving, those Thanksgivings that they did, that the Europeans did, right, was deeply connected to their religion. It wasn't just them giving. Who were they giving thanks to? You got to think about that. You got to think about who were they giving thanks to, right? They giving thanks to demons that they called their God. It's not Yahweh. It's not the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that they were giving thanks to, right? And I think this is just a picture of some Native American brothers and sisters, which I cannot see that well, but I'm gonna go to the actual page in my book. That picture, okay. Stay right there, Abner. Stay right there. what that you could read it. I see it's big. The estimated, this is the Native American population in 1518 to 1593 to show you how many of our brothers and sisters were just wiped out in that span of time, right? What's that? Maybe 70 some years. This is it goes from 25 million at the top left of your screen all the way down to less than 2.5 million in about, let's see, 20, 70, in about 75 years. They wiped out over 20, probably about 24 million of our brothers and sisters. If you're looking at this chart, about 24 million, a mass genocide that the so-called white man did upon our Native American, Seminole, Reubenites, and our Gadite brothers. Just mass murder. And when they could have, why did they have to murder everybody? You know what I'm saying? When they could have, why didn't they try to see? Gad was fighting, man. The Gad wasn't going. Gad would rather die than to be a slave. So why didn't they just capture them and make them slaves? Because they couldn't do that with a lot of Gadites. The Gadites was fighting to the death. They ain't like Jake, you know, your coon Jakes. You know what I'm saying? They be on Clubhouse trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to take up for Esau, wearing a cape for Esau. Hey, Gad wasn't like that. Gad taking that, you know what I'm saying, taking that hatchet to the scalp. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau has deserved. That's what he needs, being so wicked. Now go to the page that talks about soccer. We want to bring out. You're gonna see it's got people kicking the soccer ball. Okay, there it is. Read that, because let's see what they, you know, what the turkey and the cranberry sauce and the stuffing really represents.
Khan and Salakia, real quick before I read that, I'm gonna just bring out two quick precepts.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it out.
Khan, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 12, reads, "Woe unto them that buildeth a town with bloodshed," man. Right? And that's what they did when they established this place, man, through the murder of over 60 million Native Americans, man. Those numbers are crazy. And then the day after these slaughters were happening is the day that the leaders said, we're going to declare this a day of thanks. And we done carried that baton down generation after generation, man, that bloody baton, right? And we sitting there like mad fools, cooning, shucking and jiving every Thanksgiving, man, after the slaughter of our forefathers, man. And then the next precept is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11, where it says, they call their lands after their own names, like Plymouth, New England, Massachusetts. They reland these names after their conquests, right? As we observed in the book, right? Now I'm gonna get right into the reading that the brother has right here, and it reads, cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 years of age were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot, the churches in Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the native Indians. During the feasting, they hacked off heads of the natives, were kicked through the streets. Salakia. During the feasting, the hacked off heads of the natives were kicked through the streets. Thus, the game of soccer was born. Like balls, even the friendly Wampanoag didn't escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years.
So whenever you watch that game of soccer, what you watching, it derived from pilgrims kicking around the heads, chopped off heads, freshly chopped off severed heads of your Native American brothers and sisters.
Man,
that's what you're watching,
watching
soccer.
That's right.
right? Read those 2 bullet points at the bottom. That's what you're watching when you're watching a game of soccer. The so-called white man will murder millions of your ancestors and make it into a damn game. And this is who you want to be in the kingdom next to? this who you want to advocate for salvation with you? Or this who you want to confuse the people? Like, it should be no confusion. Don't confuse the people.
Brother gave them way too much hope. These devils don't deserve no hope.
None whatsoever, right? Just because you want to get a donation from one of these crackers or something, nah, man. Tell them straight up what their fate is for what they've done. Read those bullet points, though.
The internationally known sport soccer was patented and inspired from the Pequot Massacre. The English and Dutch settlers celebrated their victories by kicking the severed heads of Indian chiefs through the streets of New England and Massachusetts.
Right. The white man is a proud bastard, a bold murderer, right? Bold. Will do things and will make a tradition out of it that's mocking you right in your face. A lot of black people swear they got Indian in their blood. Don't you know what I'm saying? You remember the girls always used to say that back in the day? If they had a little good hair, they got Indian in their blood, right? Everybody loves Native Americans, but don't nobody want to be the Native American. Everybody, but they don't even know what the so-called Indians went through. You know what I'm saying, man? We gotta do better, man, and actually, you know, act like we care about our people or ourselves.
That's right.
And actually exhibit that, because I think that's what's going on in 2020, 2025. A lot of people really don't even care about themselves no more. A lot of our people have been beat down and downtrodden so much, they don't care about themselves. You know, they don't give a damn about you. How you think it's so easy for them to pull the trigger out here every day? Our people are so beat down and downtrodden from situations like this. You know what I'm saying? Like this colonization, this indoctrination that we go through on a daily basis. Nothing makes sense to people who don't have the answers. This is why we doing this work, to try to help give y'all some of the answers. Some of this information y'all might not want, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get this work. You know what I'm saying? And you need to cultivate yourself in your own culture and just and follow the ways and the laws of God. Right? Go to the Native American lands or the tribes before the European colonists. There's a page, it's like an American map, but it's the Native American map. Right? If you can see this this picture, which might not be that clear to y'all, but this is a map of the US. And basically it's showing where all the tribes dwelt at in each place. So you had like you know, on the West Coast, you had like the Nez Perce, the Dene, you know what I'm saying? You had the Apache, you had the Lakota, the Cheyenne, down in Texas and on down below Texas, you had the Aztecs. And how could they say that our Hispanic brothers and sisters is not, you know what I'm saying, are illegal immigrants? Man, if you're looking at this, you can clearly see that, you know what I'm saying, even our Hispanic brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, were here and they had this stuff mapped out. They had this place mapped out to where their tribes were living. You had the Mayans right down at the bottom where, you know what I'm saying, where everybody like to go kick it at in Tulum, where Cancun is, the Tulum. You had you got the Cherokee over here in the South, in the Mid-South. You know what I'm saying? I actually have some people. A bunch of my family on my mother's side are Cherokee. A bunch of my family, like my great grandmother is 100%, but that's on my mother's side. Father's side is straight Judah, but a lot of Cherokee Indians in this area, right? Then you got the Shawnee and all these different people. All these people, you go all the way up to Canada, you see the Odawa, the Inju, even the Lakota up there. Man, they wiped all these people out. Some of these tribes don't even exist no more. Who is the Nez Perce, right? Oh, man. Yeah, man, they was wiping Gad out. Lakia, Baba Kashar, if you could read those bullet points out.
Salakia, real quick before I read these bullet points, I got one more preset.
Con.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, and starting at verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole people that all should be one people, and everyone shall leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols. So this is what happened when these evil kings declared a day of thanks right after the slaughtering of these millions of people. And then all the heathen agreed to celebrate this day of thanks. And many of our people, right, agree in agreement instead to profane the covenant of the Most High and celebrate these wicked laws and feast days. Right, and that's another reference of this how history we've been repeating itself, man. These spirits do the same thing, right? And let me get it right into this. It says, before the English colonists and the Spanish explorers invaded North America, the entire land was filled with buffalo, clean air, the best farming system, clean natural mountain spring water, silver, gold, unbordered land, natural health herbs, no non-made chemicals or alignments, and no debt systems. Before the Columbus invaded North America, there weren't any forcible rapes or slavery on the natives. The native Indians had a spiritual connection with their creator, Yahweh. It's also believed that the native Indians are direct descendants of the lost tribes of the children of Israel by many European colonists, Spanish explorers, and Puritans.
Con. I was just reading a book earlier. I didn't really pull enough information from it, but the book had a lot of proof that the Native Americans are Israelites through the customs, like not just the fringes and stuff that they wore, but also through like their marriage customs, through the penalties for adultery. You know what I'm saying? Like they lived by the law. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans lived by the law. The way that they did their sacrifices and things like that, everything was as if though they were coming from the Levitical bloodline, but they knew about the Levitical priests, and they were just doing their own sacrifices according to what the Levites used to do. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of proof that the Native Americans are our people. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody want to try to fight that or argue about that, that's another lesson for another day. But we got that information too, to prove to you that the 10 tribes, the lost tribes, are Israelites. They're part of the 12 tribes. Could you go to the story of Pocahontas in this book, in the Holiday Hustle? The true story of Pocahontas, right? Because it's just a lot of history, man. It's a lot of our history. It's just so much. I'm not going to go through everything, but this story is kind of interesting because it kind of gives you an understanding of how, just how much more wicked Esau is. We always hear about Pocahontas and, the basically I say like the fairy tale story. But let's get into like something that really did happen with Pocahontas, something that's really real and that was very tragic and that you didn't hear about in the fairy tale of Pocahontas. All right? Read.
Despite what many people, due to long-standing and very inaccurate accounts by educational institutions, history books, and movies such as the highly fabricated Disney's Pocahontas, the true story of Pocahontas is not one of a young native Powhatan woman with a raccoon friend who dove off of mountain-like cliffs of the coast of Virginia. No, there were no cliffs on the coast of Virginia. The true story of Pocahontas is a tale of rape, tragedy, and heartbreak. it is time to bust up the misconception intentionally perpetrated for over 500 years regarding the young daughter of the Powhatan chief, Waha Unsinaka.
Wahoo Seneca. Wahoo Seneca.
Wahoo Seneca, Salakia. The truth, gathered from years of extensive research of the historical records, books, and very accurate oral histories from self-identified descendants of Pocahontas and credible tribal people of Virginia. The story of Pocahontas is a tragic tale of a young Native American Indian girl who was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, raped, and allegedly murdered by those who were supposed to keep her safe.
Right. Those who were supposed to keep her safe. Who were they? Hebrews 12 and 16. We're going to get into the story. Bring up that next page on that, Abner, and then, but before that, read Hebrews 12 and 16. The next page that starts with the words, this is many historical accounts. I would say the number of the pages, but the way the elder, the way he made his book, he didn't put numbers on the pages. So the first words is, this is many historical accounts, though not always. If you don't have that page, then just go to the next page you got that's talking about Pocahontas. Because I know I put a couple of pages in there to make the story shorter because it's a long, you know what I'm saying, a long story. As a matter of fact, if you can't find it, I'll just read it off here myself. It should be, if it's not that page, it should say Pocahontas never defiled her father to bring food to John Smith. Or it says Pocahontas was kidnapped and her husband was murdered. Got that? Yeah, man. Like the Hebrews 12 and 16. Go ahead and bring that up.
Khan, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 16 or 13?
16.
All right, Khan. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
And you know Esau couldn't help himself, being the fornicator that he is. You know he could not see a beautiful woman, as beautiful as they say Pocahontas is, and not defile her. You know what I'm saying? Like Esau, the Bible says there's no fornicator. There's nobody that commits that sin that's worse at it, that does it, that is worse than Esau, right? There's nobody that would go to the lengths to get that done or to do that, or there's nobody that would do the things that Esau would do. Like he's that wayward, he's that backwards, right? If you can't find the page, I could just read, and we'll jump back to some other parts that we do have, right? So I'm gonna read the second page of this story about Pocahontas, and we're just gonna keep it going. It reads, this is in many historical accounts, though not always. It is important to note that Pocahontas was born to her father, Wahoo Seneca, who later became paramount chief, and her mother that died from giving birth to her, named Pocahontas also. Her name at birth was Matoka, which means flower between two streams, according to Mattapony history, was likely given to her because she was born between the two rivers of Mattapony and Pamunkey, York. Due to his wife's death, Wahoo Seneca was devastated, and little Matoka became his favorite because she looked like her mother. She was raised by her aunts and other women of the Mattapony tribe. Okay, one did. Of the Mattapony tribe, Salakia. At wet Mob Kumko. I can't pronounce that. That's a long word. Because of the lingering grief and the reminder she gave to him of her mother, Wahum Seneca, often called his daughter the endearing name Pocahontas. Now I'm gonna jump down a little bit to the story of actually what happened to her, right? This says Pocahontas never saved the life of John Smith. In the winter of 1607, the colonists and Smith was captured by the chief's younger brother. Because the English and Powhatan feared the actions of the Spanish, they formed an alliance. Eventually, and according to oral and contemporary accounts by the Mattaponi, they offered Smith a position of wirrwarrants or leader of the colonists as recognized by the Powhatan, as well as more livable area for his people with great access to game and seafood. Years later, Smith alleged that Pocahontas saved his life in the 4-day process of becoming wirrwarrants or leader. But according to Mattaponi written accounts, there wouldn't be any reason to kill a man designated to receive an honor by the chief. So basically, he's saying that the history that we got, the accounts that we got from so-called white people in our history books are false. One sec. The accounts that we got in our history books from the history that's supposed to be actual accurate history, right? It's not accurate history. What do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Now I'm about to let me get to the point, right? Another thing. Pocahontas never defiled her father to bring food to John Smith or Jamestown. So it's saying that a lot of the stuff that was said that Pocahontas did, she didn't do. Here it is. White colonists terrorized the natives. Pocahontas married and became pregnant. Let me see. You got that page about Captain John Smith? You got that page up? Abner, if you're listening. If you have the page about Captain John Smith, pull that up. But if you don't, no worries. Let's see. White colonists terrorized the natives. Pocahontas married and became pregnant. The early 1600s were a horrible time for tribes near Wironko. Native tribes, once comfortable wearing clothing suitable for the warmer seasons, found themselves being targeted by the Caucasian European colonists, sand settlers, for sexual assaults and forcible rapes on many occasions. Esau is the most profane person on the earth. Young children, male and female, were targets of rape, and native women, the tribe would resort to offering themselves to men to keep their children safe. These dudes were so sick, they were just raping so many so-called Indian women that the mothers of these children were offering themselves, said, no, rape me. Please don't rape my child. That's how sick. That's what happened to our Native American brothers and sisters over here in America KK Cup. This is the real history, right? They don't teach us a damn thing in school besides teaching us how to be better slaves or somebody that makes them richer. What you got now? Is that the one that says Pocahontas was kidnapped?
Con.
Yeah, read that. Pocahontas was kidnapped. Her husband was murdered.
Con. When Pocahontas was about 15 or 16, the rumors of a possible kidnapping had become more of a threat, and she was living with her husband, Kokum, at his Potawatomi village. An English colonist by the name of Captain Samuel Argall sought to find her, thinking that a captured daughter of the chief would thwart attacks by natives. Hearing of her whereabouts, Argall came to a village and demanded Chief Japazal, brother of Pocahontas' husband, to give up Pocahontas or suffer brutal violence against his village. Overcome with grief at a horrible choice, he relented with a hopeful promise that she would only be gone temporarily. That was a promise Argyle quickly broke. Before Argyle left the village, he gave Chief Japanzaw a copper pot. He later claimed to have traded it for her. This trade is still taught by historians. Before leaving the village, Pocahontas had to give her baby, referred to as Little Cacon, to the woman of the village. Trapped on board an English ship, she was not aware that her husband returned to their village. He was killed by European colonists. The tribal chief of the Potawatomi never retaliated for the kidnapping of Pocahontas, fearing they would be captured and that the beloved daughter of the chief and the peace symbol of Potawatomi might be harmed. So, Salakia, they killed their husband. They took her baby, and they gave them what they give him, a pot, and said they traded. They lied and said they see the history books lied and said it was a trade.
Right.
But right. And they gave them some type of pot for taking this woman. A copper pot.
Man, Esau, the devil the Bible speaks. You can't believe nothing he say. Right? He'll tell you the truth about a person that existed, like Pocahontas existed, right? But he's not gonna tell you what they really did to her. If ever they made somebody famous, they must have really, you know what I'm saying? They must have really did a lot to these people, because if they have enough gall to say, oh well, yeah, we're gonna put her in the history books because she was beautiful. But it's gotta be a reason why they, you know what I'm saying? Like
they killed her husband, took her baby, and gave a copper pot. That's the most wicked part of the story, man. Like, and then they portray it as a love story. And Disney, the entire corporation of Disney, is wicked as hell, you know. But yeah, this is just madness.
Just more madness, man. Like more shenanigans of the characteristics of it. This is what this murderer does. And
That's
then
right.
they'll give us folly days, so-called holidays, to celebrate, and we don't even know nothing behind it. We up here just celebrating, doing whatever they say, whatever they do. Like, you know,
like
when we come to the understanding, it's sickening when you actually come to reality.
That's right.
Go ahead. You saying something?
No, I said like turkeys. Turkeys represent a dumb bird. You know what I'm saying? That ain't got no sense and is easily led to their own slaughter. You know.
God. You know, it's, you know, when you think about it, if you take a newborn baby, you know what I'm saying, everything that you teach them, it don't have to be the truth. But whatever you teach that person, they're gonna believe it all the way up until they find out the real truth, or they may not ever find out the real truth. So it's not that people are dumb or like sheep. We're not calling people dumb, or we're not even belittling people. We're just saying that, you know, it's easy to find out your history and what you need to be doing. It's easy to find out, but you just gotta stop. You just gotta stop being so ignorant. Stop ignoring the real truth. Stop being, and it's not just ignorance; it's fear. A lot of it is fear. Our people talk so tough and fight each other and do all this to each other, but they really scary as hell. Because look at Gad. Gad fought to the death. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would rather die to most of them. You got to kill them instead of putting them in slavery. They'd rather just die. But most of Judah, when we got captured, I don't know what the hell they was doing, man. They was 1,000 men. You letting 30 people chain you up. I don't know what the hell Judah was doing. They must have had to drug them first to get them, catch them slipping or something. I don't know.
Scared of their guns.
Yeah,
They
scared
never
of the
seen no weapon that could, you know, shoot somebody like that
from far away. But yeah, like our Native American brothers should have never trusted these people. Give me Sirach 12 and 10. They should have never trusted these people. We wouldn't have a story about Pocahontas, and who knows? we might be in America right now, but we might not be speaking English. We might be speaking Hebrew. We may have not even went through that. But, you know, that's the way the Lord wanted it to go. So we can't really fight that or question that too much. You know what I'm saying? We just got to, hey, we got to roll with the punches and let prophecy play out. You got any more slides up, or is that it? I think that might be it. Unless I put a couple more in there. Yeah, I think that might be it for the book. If we got one more here, just read the last couple that we got. We're gonna read a couple more, and then we're gonna get into a few more precepts after that Sirach 12 and 10 that you bring out. And then then we're gonna get a couple more videos and wind it down. All right.
All right, Con, it's the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Right. We should have never trusted, our Native American brothers should have never trusted those pilgrims when they came off their boat in 1620, talking about they need to learn how to farm. They talking about they need to learn how to farm. They need to know how to, or they gonna die. They should have just said, well, you on your own, buddy, or they should have just slaughtered theirs right there on the boat. They trusted them. And that's what they ended up in. Go ahead,
Salakia. Like when I was about to say when the chief, you know, was given that ultimatum, you know, either give up Pocahontas or your whole village would be slaughtered. Esau told him that she'll only be gone for a moment, you know, and he believing that if he would have known the reality of the evil of the person he was dealing with, he might have been willing to rather take up arms and die fighting for, you know what I mean, than to just give his princess up like that. But they assured him that, you know, she would only be gone a moment, and that you know, just her beauty was gonna somehow save the village from being slaughtered. But you know, Esau is the devil, man. He's gonna kill either way. He gonna take her and slaughter you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, and give you a gift at the end of it. The gift destroyeth the heart.
He gonna take your most beautiful woman. He gonna slaughter you, and then try to give you a gift to say.
Right, because that clay pot would infuriate me looking at it, man. Just seeing that clay pot sitting there, like this is what this is what he gave me. You know, to tip, I would have to break that thing into pieces, man.
Yes, I can't make it make sense, bro. Like it had to be, because you know that was the judgment. That was a judgment, you know, for what brothers were doing and for what our forefathers did. You know, that's the only explanation. The curses, and that was Gad's judgment for a lot of the idolatry they was doing. Probably if they wasn't going off into worshiping the nature gods and all that type of stuff like that. Probably if they weren't doing that, the Most High might have not let that happen to them. But you know, everything we do is like the Most High gonna decide whether your fate is gonna be bad or good. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all a result of our own actions.
That's right.
That pagan video that I got, let's go into that pagan video, because it's crazy. It's crazy that so-called black people in America today are pagans and don't even know it. Like, you celebrating Valentine's Day, that's Lupercalia. That's a pagan holiday. You celebrating Christmas, that's Saturnalia. That's Nimrod's birthday. That's Isis's birthday. That's every Baal sun worship deity out there was born on December the 25th. But our people are gonna celebrate Christmas here in another month or so, and they just celebrated basically the celebration of Cerealia, the god of Ceres, which is the god of the harvest, which is the god that those settlers, those early settlers in 1620 was the people that was giving thanks after killing the pilgrims. That's who they was giving thanks to, because if you do the research, Ceres, Ceres, or look up the word cereal, right? Just like cereal. Look up the cereal harvest or Ceres, As a matter of fact, Abner, you on the controls right now. Look up the cereal harvest. CEREAL, like cereal, like you're eating cereal. Google that and just put up the first thing that you see. And we're gonna read that. Because, like I said, it's crazy that our people are pagans in 2025 and they don't even care. They don't consider. They don't even know what a pagan is. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say pagan, I guess they think, I don't know what the heck. They think there's somebody that speak patois or or what they call that language, pig Latin. Our people don't really be knowing. It's crazy, bro. Because I remember where my mind was at like 12, 15 years ago. I ain't know none of this stuff, bro. We don't be taught shit. And I had, you know what I'm saying? I had been to college 6 or 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I went to college 6, 7 years, learned everything that they had in them damn books. And didn't know, you know what I'm saying, this information, which is, we got smartphones now. We got walking around with computers. How is it that you don't have, you know, enough information to know that you're doing something wrong or right? Like, how is it that you don't have that information? Or is it that you just don't care? You're so immoral. You become so immoral in 2025. Like, I feel like so many 2/3, which is 66% of our so-called black people they're immoral. They don't give a damn about nothing but what they want. That's why they're in the 1/3. Yeah, man, it's crazy to think that our people actually are pagans, bro. And when you tell them that, they just laugh and they think it's a joke, but they really are celebrating all type of pagan deities. Read that. Their series, whatever this is. What is it? I can't see it on the screen. Is that the God series? Serial? It should just pop up. Just put the whatever the first thing comes up as far as the Wikipedia and all that. This looks good too, but I just basically did a quick Wikipedia search and everything popped up. Or you could, as a matter of fact, you could just type in pagan. What is a pagan? Just put what is a pagan and put that up on the screen. I just want to read the definition real quick. It's nothing deep. There's no long drawn out information. It's just as easy as typing it on your phone. What is a pagan? Because our people, they don't seem to even know what a pagan is, or what paganism is. And it's crazy because information is readily available to us, or to be honest, they really just downplay what it is.
I got the definition, King.
Huh?
The definition for pagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't really read it in the screen. It's so microscopic. It's like I'll be fighting. Yeah, I'll be fighting with my brain trying to figure out how to read it. But it says a pagan is a person who practices a religion that is not Christian, Jewish, or Islamic. Today, the term generally refers to someone who practices a modern, nature-based religion such as Wicca or Jewry, which are often polytheistic, meaning they worship multiple gods and goddesses.
Right. They worshiping multiple gods and goddesses. Right. And that's a lot of people that's into this fraternities and sororities. They're doing the Wicca worship. It's a lot of that is witchcraft, right? Because they're doing rituals to Diana, especially the females, because they're actually worshiping the Greek goddess Diana. Whenever they go in and do their chants, they actually even saying Diana's name. They're going into these meetings every week and every other day, and they're actually doing rituals. Your daughters, your sisters, your nieces are doing this stuff, right? And then they wondering why the Lord is killing our people off wholesale, because the first commandment is thou shalt not have any gods before me. You breaking the first thing God told you not to do. And you doing it proud, talking about you part of the divine nine, or you know what I'm saying? Like, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. Keep reading that.
Khan. It says historically, the term was used by Christians to describe anyone who worshipped the old gods and was considered a country dweller from the Latin word paganus.
Right. So a pagan worship all these different other gods, sun gods, Greek gods, just anything that's not the real God. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the only God. These other so-called gods are nothing but demons. They're just demons. They're just spirits created by the Lord, right? Like when Satan came to speak with the Lord in Job. These are demons. These are spirits on the left-hand side that these other people worship. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're wicked. This is why everything that they do is wicked, because they worship satanic gods and gods that they have to sacrifice babies to and things like that on Saturnalia and Valentine's Day. They're sacrificing children. They were having orgies on December the 25th, Saturnalia. These holidays are not for you so-called Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics. They're not for you to celebrate. When you do it, you're committing idolatry. You're making sure that you don't become the elect. You know what I'm saying? You're not making your election sure. You're making your lake of fire debut sure. That's what you're doing. Keep reading that. I think there's some key points in there.
Salaki King, you talking about the stuff in the screen? All right. The characteristics of modern paganism. Nature-based. Pagans often have a deep reverence for the natural world and view the divine as present in nature rather than in a distant, faraway place. Polytheistic. Often, many pagans believe in the multiplicity of gods and goddesses, both male and female.
Right. They were polytheists. They believed in many gods, right? Many gods, male and female. This is what a pagan is. Are you a pagan in 2025? Do you believe in many gods? Do you worship many gods? If you don't, then why are you celebrating Thanksgiving? Food for thought. Like, why are you doing something? Why are you celebrating a pagan, a day that's dedicated to pagans? That's why we got to bring up that Cyrilia so you can see what it is. Why are you celebrating a day that's dedicated to pagans when you're not a pagan? If you're not a pagan, if you're not a devil worshiper, if you're not a satanic person, if you're not evil, these same people think that they're good people because they gave out some turkeys this morning. What is giving out turkeys on a day that is mockery for you and your people? What is that? What value really is that gonna have for your people? What, you just feeding a man for a day, but you're not teaching the man how to fish? You just giving him fish, but you're not giving him life, the breath of life, which is these scriptures. Why not give a man this real bread of life that he can really be full upon, not just in his belly, but in his spirit? Why not give a man this instead of giving him, you know what I'm saying, just false hopes, lies? That's all we have. You know what I'm saying? In America today, you got to do your own research, and you got to be serious about it, and just relearn the things that you think you know that come from this so-called educational system. It's not education, right? It's indoctrination. It's institutionalization. It's colonization. We've never been educated, right? No matter what degree we have, we've only been taught how to make somebody else richer. That's it. So everybody that's proud because they got straight A's and B's, or they got 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees, they got this. Man, look, Israelites are intelligent anyway through the spirit. You know what I'm saying? We don't need all that, but at the end of the day, man, we got to come back to our Lord, our Savior, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Let's get that last video out, and then we're gonna close it out. Abner, did we lose We lose somebody. They fell off the live. We lost the brother from LA for a second. It's all good. Abner, can you play that last video about it says on Thanksgiving? And we're going to get a couple precepts on that note. Yeah, man. Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? A day that we used to love to go and eat that damn ham and turkey and dressing and see our family, man. It's the whole time it's been a mockery of our people, a mockery of the murder of our people. And the whole time, you know what I'm saying? It's been paganism. Paganism is what it is. Play the video. Flat out paganism.
Stop right there. Everything you learned about Thanksgiving in school? Wrong. The Pilgrims never called it Thanksgiving. Turkey wasn't even served. And here's the craziest part: the Native Americans who showed up, they weren't even invited. But wait until you hear the biblical secret that ties it all together. This is going to absolutely blow your mind. So here's what actually happened in 1621 at Plymouth Colony. About 53 pilgrims gathered for a harvest feast with approximately 90 members of the Wampanoag tribe. But here's the twist: they never called it Thanksgiving. It was just a 3-day harvest celebration. And get this, the Wampanoag weren't even formally invited. Chief Massasoit and his people heard gunfire from the colonists' celebration and showed up to investigate. Thankfully, they brought 5 deer to share, and what could have been awkward turned into an amazing feast. But wait, this wasn't even America's first Thanksgiving celebration. Canadians traced their earliest Thanksgiving to 1578, when explorer Martin Frobisher's expedition gave thanks for safe passage. That's 43 years earlier. And here's something most people don't know. The Pilgrims were following an ancient biblical tradition. Just like the Israelites celebrated harvest festivals in Leviticus chapter 23, early colonists...
Oh, they're right there, because the Pilgrims were not celebrating an Israelite tradition. They try to... This is where you got to be able to eat the fish and spit out the bones. Because they trying to lie like the Pilgrims were actually keeping the Feast of Tabernacles or, the Feast of First Fruits. But they were not doing that. Yes, they are Christians. Yes, they did know about the feast. But they were not actually keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. That's not what they was doing. They was not actually keeping the Feast of First Fruits at that first Thanksgiving. They were just doing what they always do if they have a successful harvest. If the Europeans, when they were in Rome and Greece, this is what they did. And they did it by giving thanks religiously to their gods. So their definition of a Thanksgiving is giving thanks to their gods. They were not giving thanks to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But for some reason, when the story is told, it's always told as if though these wicked people, as we know how we just been describing Esau, these wicked people were actually doing keeping our feast days to a T. No, they were not. You know what I'm saying? Now, they did get the concept of doing their harvest from what we were already doing. But at the same time, they were not praying to the God that we pray. They were not, you know what I'm saying? They were not, giving praise to Yahweh Shai, and they were not keeping the laws at all. They had something from the Catholic Church where they put the scarlet letter A on a woman whenever she committed adultery. But these feast days, as you can see, all the way up into 2025, all the way up into today, they're celebrating fake holidays. This is not in the Bible. Thanksgiving on the fourth day of on the fourth Thursday of November is not in the Bible. I do know that Passover is in the Bible. It's telling you what day is on the 15th day, right? And so, you know, Tabernacles, it tells you what day it's on. It tells you what day in the month. The Bible tells you what day in the month our holy days are on. There's nothing in the Bible that talks about on the fourth Thursday of the month of November. There's nothing in the Bible that's speaking about this wicked holiday that America celebrates.
That's right.
You don't have to keep it. You're not supposed to keep it. It is idolatry. It will eventually get you into the lake of fire. When on the day of judgment, when you have to explain to the Lord why you're doing pagan rituals, when you watch this video, or if you've heard this information that I'm bringing out, but you still want to do the pagan rituals, how you going to explain that? How you going to explain it? How you going to explain it to the Lord? Oh Lord, we were just living by tradition. We have been doing this already for 50 years. So my family have been doing. So I just do it. What you think the Lord? What you think he gonna say? Get away from me, O ye worker of iniquity. Right? You know what I'm saying? You're not getting into the kingdom. You're not getting into those gates, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, the Bible talks about. We have brothers and sisters that's gonna have to die. They're gonna have to feel death by pain because they so wicked. They're so wicked. They gotta die. They just gotta be reborn in the kingdom. They just gotta die and be reborn as a newborn baby in the kingdom. Hopefully, if the Lord don't throw their spirit in the lake of fire. That's what's going on with our people in 2025. Nobody cares about nothing but what they want to do and gotta do. They don't care about what God said and how He said do it no more. And it's becoming. You're starting to see the judgments. You're starting to see people's children pay for their iniquities. But that's a whole nother story. Let's go ahead and start the video, restart it. I mean, just hit play.
Regularly held Thanksgivings, days of prayer, thanking God for blessings like military victories, safe journeys, or the end of droughts. For decades after the 1621 feast, there was no national Thanksgiving. Various colonies and states celebrated on different dates, and sometimes not at all. Some people even objected because they thought the government shouldn't be involved in a religious observance. Enter Sarah Josepha Hale, a magazine editor and the woman who wrote Mary Had a Little Lamb. Starting in 1846, she spent 17 years writing letters to politicians, campaigning for a national Thanksgiving holiday. Finally, in 1863, during the darkest days of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln listened. He proclaimed a national day of Thanksgiving to unite a divided nation. This echoes the biblical principle from Psalms, giving thanks even in difficult times. But it gets better. President George Washington had actually declared Thursday, November 26, 1789, as a day of Thanksgiving when the Constitution was enacted. So there's a direct link between Thanksgiving and America's founding documents. And in 1942, Congress made it official. The fourth Thursday in November would forever be Thanksgiving Day. From a single harvest feast to a nation-healing holiday, that's an incredible journey. Time to bust some major myths. Myth number 1. Turkey was the centerpiece of the first Thanksgiving. Truth. Historical records mention fowl, probably ducks or geese. The Wampanoag brought venison, 5 deer, and they likely ate fish, eels, shellfish, stews, vegetables, and beer. Turkey didn't become synonymous with Thanksgiving until the 1800s, partly thanks to Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol and Sarah Josepha Hale's writings. Myth number 2, the Pilgrims wore black and white with buckle hats. Truth. Pure fiction. They wore colorful clothing. That black and white image came from Victorian-era paintings, not reality. Myth number 3. It was always called Thanksgiving. Truth. The Pilgrims never used that word for the 1621 event. They called regular prayer days Thanksgivings. But the harvest feast was just that, a feast. The holiday didn't get the capital T Thanksgiving name until it became a national observance. Here's where this gets spiritually powerful. The practice of Thanksgiving appears over 140 times in Scripture. The concept was deeply rooted in Jewish tradition, the Feast of Tabernacles, harvest celebrations, and days of remembering God's provision. The Pilgrims understood this. Before even eating that first harvest meal, they gave thanks to God. This wasn't just cultural, it was obedience to biblical principles found in 1 Thessalonians about giving thanks in all circumstances. And think about this parallel. Just like the Israelites left Egypt seeking freedom and gave thanks after their first harvest in the Promised Land, the Pilgrims fled religious persecution in England and gave thanks after surviving their first year in the New World. Even today, when we gather with family and thank God.
You see how they said just like the Israelites, the Pilgrims did this? As if though they're trying to insinuate. That's why you got to know how to eat the fish and spit out the bones when it come to this BS history. By now, once they said that, I would have probably cut the video off. If it wasn't for me looking for, Native American information, I would have cut the video off right then. And as soon as they say something that's inaccurate, normally I just don't want to hear it no more. But what we doing is eating the fish and spitting out the bones and looking at how they twisted the history. You see how they saying they opened the Bible to 1 Thessalonians and they was worshiping God. They don't even know God's name. What God was they worshiping? You know what I'm saying? What God? Because it's not Yahweh. It's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then they sit up there and then they perpetrate as if though they would do things that we do, keeping it alive. And even on this day, this ain't even a day that God told them to keep. So they don't know how to please God, to be honest. The heathen does not know how to please God. They just do stuff, make stuff up because the law wasn't given to them. They don't know what they're doing. So you should not follow them. As a human being, you should not follow heathens, people that don't know how to please God, don't know what's the hell going on. You should not be celebrating these holy days. They don't know what is going on. They know, but they don't give a damn. I mean, they don't know as if they don't know that you can't just make up days and then celebrate them and put God's name on it. It's like they silly like that. Israelites, we would never do that because we do that before we knew we was Israelites. But as Israelites, we would never do that because we know that would be idolatry. We can't make up a day and just say, you know what? Yeah, this a holiday. We're gonna take off work and do this. Man, look, man, the Most High gonna judge you, gonna come see you, right? Yeah, so that's about enough. They're starting to go off in the video now. So yeah, that's about enough of that video. I can't when the misinformation started coming out, yeah, it's about time to move on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Done.
That's number 2. That's the second time they start bringing out lies. Give me Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. So most of this stuff that they have out there that you're gonna run into that they call history is just lies. Give me Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19.
King, this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 19. O Lord, Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Right. Their fathers have inherited lies. The Gentiles gonna come, they're gonna come telling us, damn, we've been misled this whole time. That's why we some of us didn't even know. That's why we was doing these little like the video you just saw. That's why we was doing these little videos saying what we were saying. We really didn't even know. We got lied to, right? That's what the heathen is gonna say. The heathen has inherited lies. His forefather ain't nothing but a liar. Therefore, history is nothing but his story, right? And we have to start digging much deeper to get facts, to get real truth. Now, give me the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 18. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 18 through 19.
It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 18. What profited the graven image that the maker thereof have graven? Slakia. What profited the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it, the molten image, and the teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusted it therein to make dumb idols. Woe unto him that saith to arise, it shall teach.
Hold on right there. Esau is the father of lies. It's just dumb idolatry that he's doing. That's all it is. He's got you doing dumb idolatry because that's what he is, a dumb idolater. You know?
Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it.
Right. These are just dumb idols like the Christmas tree. These are just dumb idols. There's no breath in it. It can't talk. It don't do nothing. It's not a God. It's not connected to the Most High God. Right? It's just dumb idols. Read.
But the Lord Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him.
Right. Right, man. So at the end of the day, the heathens have inherited lies, and some of this information that we went through, we use slides or videos where heathens were doing the talking. So we have to pull out the things that we know that correlate to all the facts, and we have to spit out the bones, the things that there's no facts to prove. You know what I'm saying? There's no facts to back those things up. And that's just being responsible Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Let me get the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19, because at the end of all of this, right? At the end of all of this, folly and us just trying to get our people back on point. At the end of the day, Gad, the Native Americans, there's a prophecy about them that said that, right? The prophecy just basically says that even though all that happened to them, in the end, they're gonna beat her. They're still gonna have 12,000 of that 144,000, right? Even though most of them almost got wiped out, right? There's prophecy that says that Gad's still gonna beat her, and they're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fight. They're gonna be the ones that help us get this rulership back. Bring that out.
God, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 19. Gad, a troop, shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
Right. So Gad is going to overcome at the last. Gad will come back, and he will be very strong. He will be one of the strong 12 tribes. He was always, Gad, our brother, was always one of the best fighters. They said he was fast, as swift as a deer, running through those woods and those mountains. And that's why Esau couldn't deal with him. If it wasn't for them in getting the gun from the French, the invention of the cannonball allowed them to invent the gun and the Gatling gun and musket guns and things of that nature. But if it wasn't for that, Esau ass would have been grass with those bow and arrows. Those bow and arrows and those scalps, he would have been finished. You know what I'm saying? Easy work. But it was those guns that helped Esau in the end, because Gad thought that he was summoning the gods of thunder and lightning because of the loudness of the guns. And so Gad was getting kind of intimidated to fight. And that's pretty much what happened with Gad. They probably could have just went hand-to-hand combat and just attack, ambush Esau, but they didn't have their Hannibal, you know what I'm saying, that Hannibal blueprint. That's all they would have needed, but they ain't have it, man. So that concludes my lesson, man. And the name of the lesson was Thanks Stealing, Happy Thanks Stealing. And the other parts of the lesson was just, opening up and current events. But the name of the lesson was Thanks Stealing. So now I'm going to open it up for anybody that have any questions, comments, or concerns. Any questions on anything that we brought out tonight. If you learn one thing, we did our job.
That's right.
And so I'm gonna give it like a minute of silence for everybody to either put your questions in. You can type your comments in the chat if you got a comment, or if you have a actual question, you can type that in the chat. Or one of the brothers can send you the link to get on, and we could just chop it up for a minute. Or if not, we're gonna get into the prayer. But who was that? Ariel, you came back on?
Yeah, Shalom, I'm here, King.
Hey, Shalom, Mark. Yabashim Yahweh Baraka. God, yeah, I got more information that I could have went into, but some of the videos I ain't even sent to the brother. Some of the videos I was gonna go into. But I think we got the point across.
That's right.
And I think we got out some information that people probably never ran across, and definitely some information that people needed to hear. So that was the point.
Beautiful teaching, King. Mighty reading as well.
Oh, praise us. Praise us. So yeah, man, if there's no questions to be further edified about any of the precepts or any of the content that came out, then if there's no questions, I'm gonna give y'all like 60 more seconds while we just chop it up as brothers up here. If there's no questions, we're gonna go into our prayers and pray out.
That's right.
Yeah. So the brother Yakim, he had to dip off.
Yeah, Khan. But he just gave me a heads up, so he has some stuff to do. But all praises. So it was definitely, definitely a good class, King. Definitely a good class.
Yeah, definitely, King. Mighty excellent class, and you brought a lot of receipts out, man. You know what I'm saying, pertaining to these European evil, wicked people that slaughtered our Native American brothers and sisters and children, and that, celebrating that holiday, Thanksgiving, and all that pagan holidays, those traditions and customs that our people learn from the heathens. If they don't continue to, if they don't repent, the Most High He gonna get up with them, man. Because they know, man. They know, but that's the hatred that they don't want to come to this truth, But the Most High, he gonna get up with them. He gonna get up with them,
I did! You think this is funny? On stolen land, you sit here feasting while spirits cry outside. Nobody's moving, okay?
There it is.
Okay, Khan. So we could close out with the Lord's Prayer. I'm pretty sure how about you, Shai. Let's get ready for the Lord's Prayer. Kala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashim Hakadosh, Shemai, Yashavala, Yahweh, Allah, Hainawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Hayasham, Yahweh, Malakufka, Tabaa, Ratazaka, Haya, Isha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Natananawa, Laham, Hayawam, Wasalachnawa, Habuafnawa, Kasalachnawa, Habuafinawa, Wala'at Tabiainawa, Manasayawan, Abul, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wataparaf, Lai Walamyam, Amen. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts, we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. There's a curse upon Esau and other nations for celebrating the death and destruction of our brothers, Gad and Reuben, and other nations, especially on this wicked Thanksgiving. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Shalak, Rayim, Wa Anashim, Wa Abadim, Wa Haragim, Wa Mashapatim, Al Kala, Adawamim, Wa Gawamim, Wa Ayabiab Nawa, Babukasha, Tawada, Tawaba Walam, Amen. Come to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, to bring death and destruction and wrath and righteous judgment against the heathens, against Esau and the other nations that try to rejoice in our downfall and our destruction. Tawada, Tawaba Walam, Amen. Khan.
I'm a raven wolf, I'm a raven wolf, I'm a raven. Say anointed. Black and royal, same color as the soil. My cup overrunneth, anoint my head with the oil. All my people should wear crowns, different shades of brown. Just like Adam formed from the dust of the ground. You can find that in Genesis, the serpent is my nemesis. But I get energy from the sunlight. Photosynthesis, my message is black as coal, as black as Joe. I'm skin black upon me, baby, I'm black to the bone. Pull out the blue, red, purple carpet, coming for the throne. Check out the stock market, melanin, worth more than gold. I'm black and comely, he daughters of Jerusalem. They don't know what to do with them, pursuing them. Some claim to be Jewish, I'm refusing them, rebuking them. How you Jewish? I'm refusing them, rebuking them. How was Moses mistaken for an Egyptian? Why was Joseph mistaken for an Egyptian? Even Paul the apostle mistaken for an Egyptian. Acts 21 and 38, I am not Egyptian. Exodus 11 and 7, no, I am not Egyptian. They Ham and I'm Shemsi. The lineage is different. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the lineage is different. Don't get caught up in the system. I'm pure black, more black like the dark ages. The Hebrews that built him up too. So sacred, so hated, called racist. Don't try to debate it. Your debates get deflated. I am not one of them. I am one of the greatest. Don't try to debate it. Your debates get deflated. They Ham and I'm Shem. No, we are not related. Deuteronomy 28. Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 16, Leviticus 23. Don't it look like I just came out the furnace? Follow Yah's laws and you know that I'm earnest. Headed through the Lord's service, tribe of Benjamin. Never seen a wolf play in the circus. Will never take the chip, rather fry your circuits. Blessed in the midst of curses, writing these songs and verses. To your chagrin, my friend just blow in the wind. Shields and menorahs on my diadem. Comfortable in the skin that I'm in. Melanin popping, popping out. Royalty in the building, Esau. Better watch his mouth. He done started a fight a camp. I'ma have to knock him out. Revelations 2 and 10, no fear when the guns are out. Hamashiach said, be faithful to death, he'll give us a crown of life. Yahweh Shah gave us crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Yahweh gave us crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Yashar Allah, we got crowns and I'm loving it. Black royalty with loyalty to the covenant. Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26.
House of Israel. HOI till chariots fly.